Try that. There we go. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I want to welcome everybody tonight. Our guest speaker is Jeff Dameron. Jeff and I have worked a lot in the past. Jeff's going to be talking about three or four topics that are of extreme importance to anybody that's in business. Uh, so with that said, Jeff, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about yourself and take it over.
Sure, Mark. Yeah, as you mentioned, we're good friends, and Mark was my very first real estate mentor, so I really appreciate that about him, and he's been there for many years. So what we're going to talk about tonight is for business owners and entrepreneurs, and there's a couple different programs out there. Some of you may or may not heard of the employee retention credit, and that's mainly for business owners that have W-2 employees, and you can get up to $26,000 per W-2 employee if the business owner meets some certain criteria. What's recently happened is, for various reasons that I'm not going to really get into too much tonight, but the IRS has now put a moratorium, meaning they're pausing processing future claims until early 2024. And there's reasons behind that. Number one, they got overwhelmed. Number two, there was some players out there that maybe were not following the guidelines and the rules. So we're going to kind of put that one on hold for a while. But if there's anybody that is a business owner and is interested in getting more information, we can still refer you to our company and go ahead and get you rolling. So when they do turn the switch back on, so to speak, in early 2024, you'll be set to go. Second program is we're just in the gathering stages. So perhaps next week or the week after, it's called the SETC, Self-Employment Tax Credit, and that's up to $32,000 per individual. And that is even if they're 1099 or they don't have any employees, they have certain criteria that they can meet, and we can help with that as well. And they can get up to $32,000, and this is money that does not have to be paid back. It's not like a PPP loan, which is the payroll protection plan program that came out of the COVID pandemic in 2021. So we'll have more information about that as well.
So that one would
Um,
more apply to like a self-employed person, a 1099 person.
yeah, exactly. And, so a real estate agent, for instance, would be a perfect candidate, insurance agent, anyone that has their own business that doesn't have employees but meets certain criteria. What's interesting about this, Mark, is that in relation to or comparison to the employee retention tax credit, the SETC will not take 6 months or longer. It should be 2 to 3 months. So it's an easier process. There will be some things that the individual has to do with respect to amending 2020, 2021 tax returns. We can have more information on that on our next call. And we'll actually have a sign up link where
So
folks
that,
can do that.
yeah, so that basically be about 2 weeks out from
Yeah,
today.
about 2 weeks out. Yeah, we'll have all that information. So that's exciting. And the third program that I wanted to mention, this is for business owners that maybe use a merchant account system, for processing credit cards. Typically it's around 3.5 to 5% per transaction. So company I'm associated with has really competitive merchant rates. And in fact, their, I guess, guarantee or proposal is if they can't beat the business owner's rate, they will give them a check for $250. So they're that confident with the program that they have in place. Yeah, but the one we're most excited about tonight is healthcare. Now, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go through a couple slides here and give you a real example of what this could do for a business owner, individual, family, nonprofit. Everybody is able to take advantage of these health savings. So let me share my screen, Mark, and
Okay.
I'm going to go right here. Tell me when you see it. Is it showing?
Yes.
Okay. So the name of this is called Impact Health Sharing. And health sharing looks like healthcare, sounds like healthcare. It's a little different, but functions essentially the same way as healthcare. Um, but with health sharing, the main advantage, I would say, is the cost, and some of the other elements that they have in there. I'm going to go down to the next slide. Should show, there might be a lag. Okay, cool. Let me move my screen. Okay, so here's some information about healthcare. The average individual paid about over $450 per month. The average family paid over $1,700 per month. In my instance, I had healthcare quotes for my wife and son, and that was upwards of $1,100 just for those two. And so I recently switched and got Impact Health Share, and it was around $310 a month. And so, and there's various price points depending on the deductible and stuff like that. But we've not seen anything that could even come close to this. Um, in 2019, 59% of bankruptcies were caused by healthcare expenses. Okay, let me go to the next slide. 80% of the country is trying to lower their healthcare costs. I've talked to business owners over the last several weeks, and a friend of mine's paying around $1,400 for him and his wife and his 3 kids. This will take it down to about 600 and some dollars. And we're hearing stories all the time because healthcare, to our knowledge, is based on income level. And this company, Impact Health Share, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but it's health sharing. So it's a 501(c) company, so it's a non-for-profit. So they're able to pass along the savings when they're not having large salaries for, the executives to the actual people that they're trying to insure. So 5% of the population is responsible for 50% or more of the annual healthcare spending costs. There's a lot of trends towards wellness and proper nutrition and exercise programs and stuff. But at the end of the day, if there's a major medical issue, that can really impact a family. So over 100 million Americans are in some form of healthcare debt. I had a shoulder surgery several years ago, and initially they weren't going to cover it, but once they did, I still had several $1,000s to pay out of pocket. And then uh, what we talk about is like in health network and out of health network, and we'll go over that. We don't have any of those issues over here. The benefit of the health sharing programs have been around for over 40 years, and it's very affordable. It is actually a disruptor in the industry, like Uber was for the taxi cabs and then Airbnbs for hotels. Um, Impact is able to negotiate among the lowest prescription costs and service rates in the nation, and that's how they're able to really help pass that savings along to the people that enjoy the health share program. So why? What are a couple reasons for impact health sharing? Well, healthcare is coming up right now. There's open enrollment coming up in the next couple of months, and pretty much all of the big healthcare providers are going to be raising their costs. To my knowledge, we're not, and we're going to stay. We're right where we're at. It's a great alternative to health insurance. It's full transparency. We see where our dollars are going, and we even offer, and I'll talk about this in a slide, we even offer folks that aren't even citizens can get it. Okay, here's a chart that compares the difference. It really is up to between health insurance and impact health sharing. It really is up to 70% savings per month. The deductible can be as low as $2,500 per household. So in a typical health insurance plan, it might be $2,500 per person. Okay, so that's a big difference. Um, in the impact healthcare, you have freedom to choose where you want to go, and you don't have to be in network and all this. As I mentioned before, we've got among the lowest prescription pricing. I haven't seen anybody that has better pricing for our prescriptions. Our co-pays are very low. There's no telehealth fee, $0. And as I just mentioned previously, we can actually cover folks from Mexico, Guatemala, even if they don't have a social security number. So millions of people can be helped by this program, Mark. Pre-existing conditions, it's in along the same guidelines as normal health care. But even with that, impact I've seen will work with the individual and try to help with some solutions for that. Okay. Um, and I'm going to go over a real-time example here. It's so simple to get a quote. Basically, I'll go to my site, and it goes by the birth date. And so we look at the year they were born, and how many people. If it's over three, it's the same price. And we typically get a quote in 30 seconds. So it's amazing. Okay.
So if somebody's on with us tonight and wanted you to give, just so they'd have a flavor for it, they could give their information and you could give them a quote.
Yeah, all I need is
They
the birth
would have a
year.
comparison to what they're currently doing.
For sure.
Yeah.
All I need is the birth year, and I can plug it in. If nobody's wants to volunteer their year, that's okay. I'll put a sample in. Here's an example of it's kind of hard to see on this, but um, the affordability of Impact versus other companies out there. Like I mentioned, Blue Cross Blue Shield for the same plan would be like $1,500 or $2,000 for what we're getting here. Here's another quote. There it is, BC and BS, Blue Cross Blue Shield, $1,200 a month. And then if you go down here, it might be hard to see, it's like $260 a month. Okay. And so the deductible is 7,000 per family. So right around between 306 and 352 versus $1,200. So that's a huge savings, Mark. That's huge. Okay. We also do Medicare and Medishare options, and it serves as a supplement to the Medicare that they have. Okay. Here's what our sample card looks like. If you can see where the red box is highlighted, um, urgent care, emergency, ambulance visits and stuff like that. $150. Some of them are our competitors are like 300, 400, $600. Okay. And so as I mentioned, it looks like health insurance. It feels like health insurance, but it's not. It's a health share program. And we manage billing with full transparency. And so also health share in Impact's example, we actually will pay upfront, where there's other health share companies that will actually have you come out of pocket first, and then they'll reimburse you. Okay. And some of the bigger ones, bigger health insurance companies take several months to actually pay. So we're typically in under 30 days, which is great. Um, Here's an example of an actual bill. Member name is highlighted for, um, you know, to keep it private, but there was a charged amount, adjusted amount, and then a shared amount. So you can see it really works out well, and I can possibly go into the portal and give some more examples of that. Here's another one. The Impact Healthshare will actually negotiate the rates down, Mark, too, which is amazing, and everything's negotiable, but you don't even hear of the fact that, many of these health companies will not negotiate, but Impact will do that. And so we've even heard recently that many of the doctors out there are just not getting paid by normal health insurance companies. Okay. And I heard one the other day that a doctor's group has to pay like $20,000 to an outside firm to try to get paid for services they've already done. Or maybe they've already done a service and then maybe an operation that was approved, and then the insurance company comes back and says, well, we're not going to cover that. So there's all kinds of issues with that. We don't have any of that here. Okay. I'm just going to go through these real quick here. This is the actual website. I'm going to go on my website here and give you an example. I'm going to stop the share here, and I'm going to go to my website, back to here, and let's say, where am I at? So I can find my site here. Okay, is it back to here? I think it's right here. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to
Yep.
share my
Okay.
screen
Got
here.
that.
It should be coming up. Do you see it, Mark? Is it coming up?
No, I'm still seeing the PowerPoint right now.
Okay, it says I'm screen sharing. Let me go back one more time here. Okay, let me do this. I'm going to stop the share here, and I'm going to go back to share screen, and I'm going to go to, okay, that's the PowerPoint. Let me go to here. Okay, let's see if this will do it. Share. And okay, I'm going to go right here. And are you seeing the screen?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. All right. So here's my site. It says shop now for impact health sharing. This is how easy this is. Okay. So I'm going to shop here. I'm going to click here, shop now. Okay. And it does it by your birth year. Okay. So I'm going to hit get quote, and I'm just going to put in here um 01, 01, 19, I don't know. What do you say? 1980, 1975?
Anybody on the on
Anyone want
this that wants to give a
to
data?
type it in the chat what year you would like to see? And then also the number of people in your household. No?
All right.
Okay.
We'll
All right,
just
we're gonna use
take a
1975.
let's take a family of three or something.
Yeah, we'll take 1975 family of three. We're gonna get a quote here, and you can see the person's born in 1975, a family of three, $456. Now, if they had a family of four, five, or six, it's the same price, Mark. Okay. So do your due diligence, look at some of the big healthcare companies out there and see what it would be for that, see what the deductible would be, and then also Google lawsuits, see how many lawsuits potentially could be out there for claims not paid. This is just a suggestion that somebody had mentioned to me. But anyway, so $456 to 628 for a family of three or more. Let's see if we can go back. We'll do one more quote. We'll do an individual.
So then the
For
person's paying 10% of what the bill would be under that one. Can
Yeah,
that
they
be
have to. Yeah,
okay?
I'll do another one here real quick. Okay, so we'll do. All right, 01, 01, 1980. Get quote. Okay, for an individual that was born in 1980, just that person, $130 would be the standard rate per month. But yeah, the co-share is 10%. And so the co-share is the percentage of eligible bills you pay after your PRA, which is the primary responsibility amount, uh, is fulfilled, and it's limited to $5,000 per household. Okay. So, anyways, that's kind of the conclusion of that. And I'm going to stop my share, and we could stop the recording if you want, and we could take some questions.
Has anybody got questions? Has this been helpful to you? I mean, it's a lot of stuff to throw at somebody really quickly.
Yeah, really,
So Jeff, if they wanted to talk to you individually, how would they get hold of you?
Yeah, I'll put my number in the chat here. Let's see here. Okay. All right. You want to can you type it in, Mark? Like 248.
Hang on. Oh,
It's just not popping up for me. All right. Okay.
why don't you just say it, and then what I'll do is we'll send a video out and I'll have it show up right on the screen. Can you just give your number? It's,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, it's 248-860-0853. And you could just, call or shoot a text. And then my email is just my name, Jeff, Jeff, Dameron, Dameron @gmail.com. So
All right. And then
so
we're gonna, in the next couple of days, we'll send this video out. So if it's something you want to talk to Jeff about, or if anybody's got a question, please feel free to ask questions.
perfect.
Okay, if not, I think we'll
Right.
end the meetings. And we appreciate you guys for being on. And thank you.
Thanks a lot. Have a great night. See you next week.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.